Hey everyone! Well, it's almost March and there's a lot that you can plant in March no matter where you live. Today I'm going to share with you what you can plant this month along with some tips on what to do and what not to do for each vegetable and each fruit. So let's jump in. The first type of crops you can start planting in March are the cucurbits, the watermelon, squash, and the cucumbers. Now, the little caveat for that is you don't want to start planting them too early. For you southern gardeners who are already past your frost and things are starting to warm up a little bit, hey Mac, get your cucurbits started from seed indoors now. So we're talking our cucumber, squash, and melon. These were started about 4 weeks ago. And you can start them from seed indoors. It's really just too cold to start them from seed outdoors or direct seed in your garden beds. So get them started from seed. Super easy to do that. You just pop them in your 6-packs. You want to plant them about 1/4 inch deep because they are larger seeds, and then put them under your grow lights. Caveat is, you northern gardeners, it's still just a little bit too early to get them started because you're a little ways away from your last frost date still. If you get them started too early, here's what happens. Look at these right here. These were started about 8 weeks ago. So you can see how the leaves are kind of yellowing. They're actually already starting to flower. They're getting root bound in their little containers because they grow super, super fast. And once this happens, the plants really get stunted and then they're not going to grow well for you outside. So start them from seed indoors no more than about 2 to 3 weeks before your last frost date. That way they have about 4 weeks to grow inside. Then plant them outside as the soil temperatures start to warm up and the air temperatures are in the 70s. Some of my favorite varieties for the cucurbits are the sugar baby melon. They grow really well in containers. The diva cucumbers, which are my favorite parthenocopic variety of cucumber, which means they don't need pollination in order to produce. So you get a lot of cucumbers with those. And then the round zucchini squash, which I've had great success with in the past few years. You can grab all these over on my seed shop. We got a 40% off sale going there right now on all the seed collections with the code SPRINGFLING. And Jerry and I pack every seed order, and we really appreciate you supporting a mom and pop shop. So again, the key with the cucurbits, and I can't emphasize enough, is timing. 2 to 4 weeks before your last frost date, and then get them outside when the weather warms up. And we've got a video that shows how to do this in all detail. I'll link to that in the video description. The second type of crops you can plant in March are herbs. I love growing herbs year-round. If you're in a southern climate, you can definitely do that. Containers are a great way to grow herbs because you can pop outside your back door and grab some to harvest. We harvest off this little container of herbs probably almost daily. Now for you northern gardeners who are still a little bit chilly weather, you can be planting your cool weather herbs. The parsley is just going crazy. It loves the cool weather, along with cilantro, dill, and chives. Start them from seed indoors. We talk about this more on our February What to Plant video. They do take a bit of time to germinate, but be patient, hang in there, then get them planted outside after your last frost date. But everyone right now, no matter where you live, can start your perennial herbs. Now they are a little bit more difficult to start from seed. The seeds are super tiny, but be patient. Sometimes they can take up to 2 to 3 weeks to germinate. So that's why you really do need to get them started this month if you want to save money and start them from seed. We've got some of the beautiful perennial herbs in this container here, and you can plant herbs all in one container or in one garden bed. So here we've got some of my favorite perennials like oregano. We use oregano almost daily. I love to put it in my scrambled eggs. It's right here in the front. And then I've got some sage in here too, over on the side, which we love to have in chicken dishes or chop up on top of salmon. And some thyme. Oh my gosh, you guys. This little container smells so amazing. So you can save a lot of money by growing your herbs from seed. Or if you're in a hurry and don't want to do that, you can always pick up your perennial herb transplants at the garden center. But the cool thing about herbs is the more you harvest, the more that they grow. So you do want to pinch your herbs off. Just harvest them about once a week, and then you'll have plenty of herbs. Now another way I love to grow herbs, it's so much fun. Excuse me, Mac. Mac loves to always sit right in the way and he doesn't ever move. Another way I love to grow herbs is in hanging baskets. So gorgeous on your deck or your patio. These are the Smart Pots hanging basket liners here. You just pop them in your hanging baskets. I've got some gorgeous herbs in here. The reason why I love growing them in baskets is because they kind of hang over the side. They look really pretty. Now, if you want more herbs, you can grow in a larger container, but I just love how these look. Cilantro right in here. I've got the dill over on the other side. so pretty mixed in with the flowers, and don't be afraid to mix them with flowers. Now, for you southern gardeners, get your warm weather herbs planted right now. Basil, go crazy with seeding your basil. It's a little bit too cold right now to plant them directly in your garden beds. Just start 6-packs here. I've got a gorgeous purple basil, which is beautiful variety right over here. The culinary basil is one of my favorites. This is in my spring garden seed collection. It's a nice little mixture of different types of basil all in one packet. And then my favorite, Prospera basil, is an absolutely gorgeous high producing basil. So start tons of basil and you are gonna love it this summer. It's so good. Start from seed indoors about 6 weeks before your last frost date. Plant them outside a couple of weeks after your last frost date as the soil temperature warms up, and you will be good to go all summer long. One of my favorites too that I'm growing this year from seed is called Summer Savory, a really delicious kind of tangy-ish flavor herb, and it's a warm weather herb. It's kind of an unusual type of herb to grow, but it's in my herb seed collection. If you want to grow some, grab that too. And while I'm here, let's talk about the next crop right here, which are leafy greens. Now, I think there are leafy greens that you can plant each and every month. We talked about it in the February what to plant video too. But one of my favorites to plant this month are different varieties of kale. And look here, we've got the KX kale, a dark purple leaf, and the red Russian kale, absolutely gorgeous. I love the variety of the leaves. And here we have the lacinato or the dinosaur kale. These are little scarlet frills mustard greens. So what you want to do is plant a variety of leafy greens. Some are more heat tolerant, like the kales, the chards, and the New Zealand spinach. They're heat tolerant and cold tolerant, so they can really go both ways. So whether you're in the south and are moving away from the lettuces, the cold tolerant varieties, getting too hot for those in the south, and then moving into the heat tolerant varieties, get your seeds started. So a really good way, an easy way to start seeds without going through the hassle of grow lights, or maybe you're running out of space under your grow lights like I am, is just start them outside, right here on your rail like I have in 6-packs. Leave them out here during the day, let them get some sunshine, and then bring them inside at night because it might be too cold for them at night. So super easy way, keep it simple, keep it quick, just go with whatever time and space you have. You northern gardeners want to be focusing on the cool weather greens. So go crazy with planting lots of lettuces. Might be too chilly to direct seed outside at this point, but start them from seed indoors. Let them grow inside under grow lights for about 4 weeks. Pop them outside around the time of your last frost date or as soon as you can kind of work the top few inches of the soil. And by the way, you guys, the carrots we planted on the February video are just coming up here. So a little side note, now's a great time to direct seed your carrots in your containers or in your raised beds if you can kind of work the soil just a little bit. And do make sure you go back and watch the What to Plant in February video. Lots of great info there. A lot of those veggies that I talked about in February, you can also plant in March. But carrots are a good one to get started right now. So you can harvest carrots like this one in about 60 to 90 days. Whew, that's a beauty. Next crop to plant in March are berries, one of my favorites to grow. And I especially love growing strawberries right here. Now you really do need to get them planted in March, especially if you live in the South, because if you don't have them already established and you're buying bare root berries or transplants from the garden center, they run out very, very quickly. So grab your strawberry plants now and get them planted. I love to grow them in the strawberry crate tower here. These are just simple plastic crates lined with the Smart Pots crate liners, super easy to plant. And look at how well they're doing. They're just kind of spilling over. You can grow a lot in a little bit of space and starting to produce already. I fed these, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago with Monterey's Fish and Guano Fertilizer, and wow, they are just absolutely popping out everywhere. Now, what you want to do with your berries at this point in time, and you northern gardeners could do this right now too, if you've got little, dried up leaves like that, maybe they just died during the winter time because of the cold, just pick them off, get all that ugly dead growth off, and that way your plants can send all of its energy into producing new plant or new growth here and new berries. Now, another way I especially love to grow them too is in hanging baskets. They just look so, so pretty hanging over the edge. Now, these aren't producing yet. I just planted them maybe a month or so ago, but look how pretty this is. You've got your alyssum, your violas, and then your berries in the middle. And as the weather is warming up now, they'll start to burst forth with growth, and pretty soon they'll be spilling over the edge. In fact, these ones might be producing soon. Now, you northern gardeners, It's a little bit too early still if your ground is frozen to plant fresh new berries. So wait until after your frost and then grab your transplants or prune up your berry plants, wake them up out of dormancy with some good fertilizer like the Monterey fish and guano, the Vermistera worm tea, and they're going to be bursting into life. Spring's just around the corner, only a few weeks away, and you definitely want to get that done this month, depending on where you live. Now, I do have another berry that I'm growing, one of my absolute all-time favorites. We'll get to that in just a moment. But on the way down the stairs here, I just noticed my arugula. This is also a great leafy green you can plant this month. And look at these leaves, they're absolutely beautiful, growing like crazy. So easy to grow arugula, you guys. We literally harvest off this every single day. You just sprinkle the seeds down. They love the cool weather, so make sure you plant them in enough time to where you can get a harvest before the weather gets over 75. One of my all-time favorite greens for sure. One of my all-time favorite berries are blackberries. So ripe and delicious to have in the summertime. And if you don't have a blackberry patch, you really need to get one planted this month for you southern gardeners. Northern gardeners, wait until after your last frost date. But southern gardeners, now is the time. If you start too late, you won't be getting any harvest this year. So grab yourself some bare root plants at the garden center. Go to your local independent nursery. They're very knowledgeable there on what varieties will work best for you in your area. Get bare root plants. It's a lot more of an affordable way to plant, and you can get a lot of plants established before the summer hits. Now, I've already got my patch established. They're coming out of dormancy. So southern gardeners, your plants will be coming out of dormancy this month. Watch our Blackberry wake up video for exactly how to get them woken up and establish new fresh growth for more berries this summer. And what I'm also going to do today is add in some of the Monterey Dr. Iron. Now, iron is very important to add to all your container plants, your raised beds, anything you're going to plant about 2 to 3 times a season, but especially in the spring. And what iron does is it takes care of any deficiencies or yellowing of the leaves, which is called chlorosis. But it also helps all the nutrients work together better, helps with efficient nutrient uptake. So all the good organic fertilizers I added a few weeks ago, the Dr. Iron is just going to help the plant absorb those, uptake them, and work that much better. So I'm just scratching in a little tablespoon or so around the base of the plant, kind of covering it up, reapplying the mulch. And I'll do this to all my blackberry and strawberry plants early in the spring to wake them up, help bring them out of dormancy, and really be good producers. And I really do like the Monterey Dr. Iron because it's more concentrated, so you don't have to use as much. And you can follow the same process for all your berry bushes, your raspberries, your blueberries, boysenberries, to bring them out of dormancy and help them really produce well for you this spring. Next up in March are flowers. Now, this is the month where you definitely want to get your perennial flowers started. Start from seed indoors. And I'm talking perennials like your purple coneflower, your Shasta daisies, your Alyssum, any of those that are small, tiny seeds and take a little bit longer to grow. If you start too late, you're not going to have flowers in time for your garden. So get those started now. And you notice I mentioned a crop. And you're like, Kim, flowers are not a crop. Actually, there's a lot of edible flowers you can plant. But not only that, it's really important to plant them for the pollinators, because if you don't have pollinators in your garden, you're not going to have veggies. So get those perennials started now. Don't wait too long, and then transplant them outside after your last frost date. Now, you northern gardeners, you're going to be wanting to plant your cool weather flowers early in the spring. Southern gardeners, you're kind of on the edge. It's a little bit too late to get those started or to plant them now because the weather's going to be getting warmer. One of my favorite cool weather flowers of all times are nasturtiums. Now, they don't like frost, so you can direct seed them right in your garden after your last frost date. They work really, really well that way. Southern gardeners, direct seed them now because they're not going to grow well when the temperatures get above 75 degrees. Let's go back to northern gardeners. Get your cool weather flowers started from seed indoors. Start your nasturtiums or wait till after your last frost date, direct them outside. But you can also start your Alyssum, your Dianthus, your forget-me-nots, one of my all-time favorite early spring flowers, Calendula. Now let's move into the warm weather flowers. Southern gardeners, get these started now. You want to start from seed indoors, your sunflowers and your zinnias this month, and then let them grow indoors about 4 to 6 weeks. Plant them outside as the air temperatures warm up to about 70 degrees. Northern gardeners, don't start your warm weather flowers too early indoors because they're super quick growers If you start them too soon, it's kind of like the cucumbers. They're going to outgrow their seed starting containers, get stunted, and then not do very well. You can actually direct seed them outdoors as soon as the temperature warms up, or start them indoors about 4 to 6 weeks before your last frost date. Now, once you either get your flowers transplanted outside or direct seed them outside, you can always provide them with a little bit of protection with simple frost covers. Put like a tub or a storage bin over your young plants to protect them from unexpected cold weather. But don't be afraid to mix in your pollinator flowers with your vegetables. Now, this traditionally has been my pollinator garden, but I am going to be planting more veggies in it this year. If you watched our garden tour the other day, you saw me talk about that. But make sure that you're getting your pollinators right in with your vegetables, because the whole idea is you want to bring the bees in. The flowers will bring the bees in, and then the bees will see your other vegetables and pollinate them as well. So perhaps in here I might plant a tomato plant. The pollinators will be here on my alyssum, and then head right over to my tomatoes to pollinate them, or my cucumbers, which will give me more veggies. We have lots of resources over on our website to help you get started for spring. Seeds, my garden books, containers. So go check it out. We really appreciate your support. Now, this list here is not an exhaustive list by any means, but it's some of my favorites. And go back and watch the What to Plant in February video, because most of those vegetables you can also plant in March. And remember, I read the comments and answer all of them, so you know what to do. Thanks for watching. See you next time in the garden.